coisa mais linda, mais cheia de graça. É ela, menina que vem e que passa, num doce balanço a caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado, do sol de Ipanema, o seu balançado parece um poema. É a coisa mais linda que eu já vi passar. But I watch her so sadly. Ah, porque tudo é tão triste. Yes, I would give my heart gladly. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall and tan and young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes I smile, but she doesn't see. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle that when she passes, each one she passes goes up por causa do amor. She just doesn't see, nem olha pra mim.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard. Once you have located your seat, we ask you to please step out of the aisle so the passengers behind you can pass you. This will expedite our boarding process. Your large carry-on items need to go in the overhead compartment with your smaller ones underneath the seats in front of you, keeping all exits and aisles clear. If you need assistance, please contact the flight attendant.
Welcome to the Love Never Fails Journey to Freedom Gala. We are so excited to be with you tonight in Carnival, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Tonight we're going to have dancing, we're going to have song, we're going to enjoy the scenery. Can't you see it now? We're at the beach, the sun is beaming down on us, the waves are rolling, and we're enjoying our life. I don't know about you, but during this time of the pandemic, it's really time to have a good time. And we're so excited that we get to invite the survivors that we serve to join in the party, to live a life that is free, to live a life that allows them to be their very best. We're so grateful to you for partnering with us as we do that. And so, have fun and enjoy your time.
Good evening. What's up? Love never fails. It is so exciting to be with you this evening. There are people who are still joining us, which is awesome. You managed the technical hurdle, and we're going to have a great time. So it's so good to see you. My name is Michael Tate, and I'm probably the newest friend, but incredibly dedicated to the work of Love Never Fails. It's my great honor to be with you this evening as your host for the 10th anniversary gala. Can you imagine that? 10 years of the amazing work that Love Never Fails has done. Now, while we may be physically apart, I know that we are socially and spiritually connected around the important work that Love Never Fails has been doing under the leadership of its charismatic founder and executive director, Vanessa Russell. Tonight, we will celebrate, reflect, honor, raise money, and of course, have a good time. It's Carnival. You won't want to miss the testimony of resilience and strength from our keynote speaker and survivor hero, Centoya Brown Long, a little bit later in the program. In addition to Love Never Fails friends, both new and long time joining us this evening, we are delighted to have the following elected officials in attendance: Alameda County Supervisors Nate Miley and David Halbert, Hayward City Council Member Elisa Marquez, and Antioch Vice Mayor Monica Wilson. Thank you for your support for Love Never Fails. Tonight, we invite you to watch the program until the very end, when Vanessa will conduct a live trivia contest. The winning attendee will receive a beautiful 10th anniversary limited edition Love Never Fails commemorative watch, provided by our friends from Craig Shelley of Beverly Hills. Now, a bit of housekeeping regarding the fundraising portion of the evening that will happen a bit later. The platform you're on, and again, congratulations, you've made it. The hard work is done. It's designed to allow you to watch the event, bid, pledge, and complete your transactions all in one place. You can view your personal cart located at the top right of the page, at any time during the night by clicking on it. At the end of the night, you'll be able to check out again by clicking on that card, your pledge card. During the live auction and Fund a Need, you'll be able to follow along in real time by watching the lower right side of your screen. As we get to each of these moments of the evening, I'll provide more details. So don't worry if you didn't catch all that. We'll make sure you've got it when we get there in the evening. Now, let's start with a bit of entertainment, and I am excited for you to see this. The next video features the song, The Glory of Love, composed by Jay Joy with vocals by Yashika McAllister, piano by Vincent Wilson, and engineering by Jeff Colhette. It was recorded at 25th Street Recording Studio in beautiful Oakland, California. The video features the amazing dancing of Reagan Griffith Aragones and was directed by our very own Vanessa Russell. The videography was done by Extreme Media and executive production by 2 Records, one of our wonderful silver sponsors of this evening's gala. This single is the first of many to be released by the Love Never Fails One Voice Crying in the Wilderness gospel compilation. Our artists are all survivors of domestic violence, abuse, and human trafficking. Please enjoy this amazing video.
Your love has no limits. You pulled me out of the fire. The words you spoke to me caused my heart to admire. And I know that I am yours, and you're forever mine. There is no fear and no worry. I will glory in your love, stand tall in your grace. Forever I will seek your face, and I'm sure you have my hand. You stand forever, the perfect sacrifice for all you call on you. You open their blind eyes, and my heart is warm and full of your peace. There is more grace awaiting me, and I'll glory in your love, stand tall in your grace. Forever I will seek your face, and I'm sure you have my hand. Your love has done great things. Your love has done great things. Your love has done great things. You're so good to me. Your love has done great things. Your love has done great things. Your love has done great things. You're so good to me. And I'll glory in your love, stand tall in hand, and I'll glory in your love. Stand tall in your grace. Forever I will seek your face, and I'm sure you have my hand, and I will glory in your love. Stand tall in your grace. Forever I will seek your face, and I'm sure you have my hand. Yes, I'm sure you have my hand, and forever your love stands.
Wow, wow, wow. My goodness. Thank you so much, Yoshika and Reagan. What a beautiful debut of our first gospel album. And thank you to Two Records for helping Love Never Fails to give survivors an artistic platform for such heartfelt love and adoration for our God. I'm so grateful. We have so much to be grateful for as we're coming out of a very difficult time with this pandemic. So many people have suffered losses in their families, loss of life, loss of jobs, and sometimes in some instances, loss of hope. But here we are taking time to express gratitude to one another and to celebrate the wonderful things that we've been able to accomplish even in adversity. As Michael mentioned, my name is Vanessa Russell. I am the founding executive director of Love Never Fails, and I am absolutely humbled to be here. Love Never Fails was I founded it in 2011 when one of my 15-year-old dance students was raped and sold throughout California for a year. And I'm so grateful that she's actually here tonight with us, and she was found and she was restored, and she's flourishing in her life, and I'm grateful to be a part of her life. But unfortunately, there are many, many, many other survivors of human trafficking that are still waiting to be seen, waiting to be loved, waiting to have an opportunity for a life of freedom, a life of sustainability. And I'm just so grateful that we get to work on this together. I can't believe that it has been 10 years. 10 years. It's just mind-boggling. And so just to give you a little bit about our accomplishments, as you all know, our mission is to empower all people to express and experience their best sense of humanity. And we do this by restoring, educating, and protecting survivors of human trafficking and their community. And we view this as a symbiotic mission statement, because while we're restoring survivors and community members and protecting and educating, there is so much that we're receiving as well. And we're receiving the same types of restoration and the same types of empathy and care and love from the very ones that we serve. And so I'm so excited that many survivors are right now on this live stream, looking at what we're accomplishing, not viewing it from afar, but knowing that they're part of what we're doing, and an important part at that. So I want to tell you a little bit. Over the last 10 years, we have been able to safely house 154 women, men, and children. And last year, despite the pandemic, we opened 2 new homes, one for girls ages 13 to 17, and another for homeless and in some instances trafficked transitional age young men and or families. And I know it sounds crazy to open homes when most people are closing up shop, but we've done this over the years where we've seen a need and we just couldn't pass it by. We couldn't ignore the need. And in May, the children's home was the youth home that we opened was inspired by a 15-year-old once again that I encountered, that I was just grateful to be able to pick up in the middle of the night. It was midnight when I went to pick her up from the police station. It was raining outside and she was in a small little dress with a jean jacket. She shared her story with me. She had been left for dead for 6 months in a Bay Area city. She had been sold out of cars. She'd been beaten up. She even had stitches in her head, if you can believe that. This is a young lady that was just so beautiful, so gifted, loved to run track, and even recited Psalm 100 in the car with me, unprompted, just started to just recite it. And I knew then there was just something that I had to do to open up a home so that girls like her could be safe. And I'm happy to say that we opened that home. It is the I Am Youth Art House. We opened it in partnership with Turntable Housing, hi Robin, and with Solgen Solutions, hi Jen. And between the three of our organizations, we are committed to the girls that we're serving, and not just them, but also to their parents, because a huge part of solving human trafficking is helping to fortify the family unit, helping to strengthen the family unit. And so we're so grateful for that opportunity. And then in November, we opened another home for men. And why did we do that? Well, in our IT Academy, we found that the women that were in our IT Academy were flourishing. Why? Because they had stable housing. But the men didn't have stable housing, so they were continuing to live in cars and in tents. One young man comes to mind that knows how to code in 6 different programming languages, and yet he was living homeless. A 19-year-old living homeless in a car. On one day, we just decided, we're going to open this home for these young men and these families that are launching into their new lives, people who are working but find themselves homeless because of the cost of living here, especially here in the Bay Area. And so we opened in November, and I still remember the first couple that came in. They were living in their cars for 5 years, homeless in their cars, despite being a case manager and a construction worker, being working people. They were living in their cars for 5 years. And the day that they decided to come in, I still remember that day because I got a phone call from one of our volunteers who always calls me at, it seems, at just the right time. And she said, Vanessa, you probably can't use this. And I should tell you that in each of the rooms in our I Am Launch House for Men, we had bunk beds. So we weren't prepared to receive a couple. And we told the couple, you'll have to sleep in bunk beds. And they said, that's fine, and we're cool with that. But that day, I got a call from this volunteer, and she said, my husband and we bought this queen size bed, but we actually decided we need a king. And so we have this brand new queen size bed with a cover and all the blankets and all and everything that you might need, the frame and all. And the only bad part about it, if you can receive it, is I have to drop it off today. And I said, oh my goodness, the timing on this is just impeccable. It is divine, in fact. And so that day they brought the bed and they slept in a nice, comfortable bed that night. And I can't tell you, tears in my eyes the entire night as I thought about them safely sleeping in their own bed. So That's our housing program, just amazing. And we couldn't have done that without the support of all of you. And then when we started our housing program, we quickly realized that we needed to equip our graduates with sustainable careers and life skills so they wouldn't have to go back to abusive and exploitative relationships. And so in 2018, we launched IT Biz, which is a Cisco networking academy, to do just that. And since that time, we have become a California certified cybersecurity and networking pre-apprenticeship program. And just a couple of weeks ago, we became a CalJobs training provider. And then in a couple more weeks, in like a week's time, we're going to receive our Department of Rehabilitation certification. So we have just been able to really provide some value to the students that we're supporting. At the beginning of COVID, I had a dream that I would open up our IT Academy to empower impoverished people during shelter in place, so that time would not feel like they had lost. In fact, the vision I had in the dream was that they would pull to the front of the line because they had time to catch up. And so immediately we opened up our IT classes and made them free for everyone. And let me tell you, we had 300 students sign up. 300 students in 6 states signed up for Cisco, Google, Agile, and Microsoft classes. And now our graduates are doing internships with our partners, Transformation Continuum and NextGen and Scale. And we're working with other tech companies like Cisco and Synac to provide professional mentors to the students. So again, this is a community effort. Everybody's coming and bringing whatever they can to the table. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And it's so needed. It's so needed. Also, as part of our mission, we've been able to provide prevention education to over 500,000 students as part of our collaborative, which is called Protect. And that is done in partnership with Three Strands Global and Frederick Douglass Family Initiative. Recently, we trained the staff at the Boys and Girls Club of Contra Costa County, and now we're going to educate the middle and high school students there and teach them how they can protect themselves from this horrendous crime. This is a must-do if we're going to get ahead of this issue, which is actually growing at a pretty fast rate during the pandemic. Also, over the last 10 years, we've rescued over 100 women and children with the help of off-duty officers, district attorneys, and search and rescue partners like SOS. And we couldn't be more grateful to them for their partnership and support as we've brought girls like the young lady that I mentioned to safety, the 15-year-old to safety, so that she could be reunited with her family. We also continue to do community education with our radio show that airs on KFAX every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and also community events. So in summary, I mean, it's just incredible just thinking about what we've been able to do just in 2020 alone. We pivoted with our online, with our community store. We had to shut our store. So you know what? We worked together to put everything online, created a Shopify cart, and now everything is accessible anywhere, throughout the globe. And that was quite a transformation that our store team and our marketing team initiated. We opened our youth house. We opened our men's home. We also launched a racial equity, diversity, and inclusion program specifically for businesses and for churches that were struggling on how do I better address the issues in our country and our world around economic diversity, around racial diversity, especially during some of the difficult things that we experienced in 2020. And so we launched that, and then lastly, we launched our church coalition. And that is really our way of getting all the churches communicating with one another and empowered with knowledge about what human trafficking is and how they can support their congregation and their community. You know what? We wouldn't have been able to do this without you. And so we're so grateful. And we're also so grateful to our board. Our elected board has just been, so committed to our mission, so committed to this work. And so I wanted to introduce you to a few of the board members. I'll start with Alvin DaCosta, who is our vice president. Thank you so much, Alvin. And Hulin Basha Kapoor, who is our treasurer, and Carla Rivera, Brianna Mosley, Ed Sason, who are our elected board members, and then Mick, who is our secretary, our volunteer board secretary. We are, again, so grateful to you for your commitment to this mission and to our vision. And then, of course, we have our advisory board members, and there are 15 of them that have brought their gifts to this work, whether it's Nola, who has brought mental health training to our staff, Nola Brantley, or perhaps it's Sandra, who has done amazing things to support our housing program and our store and is constantly introducing us to new people that can open new doors, especially in the real estate area. Perhaps it's Laura Quintana, who is an amazing leader, vice president at Cisco, and is able to help us navigate some of the professional mentoring opportunities. Every single person that you have here, Sabrina, of Transformation Continuum, who spearheaded our internship program. We could go on and on about every single person that is here. And again, we couldn't do it without your commitment, your support, and your love. So thank you again. I am going to hand off to our committed and courageous Senior Operations Manager, Letitia Campbell.
Thank you, Vanessa. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. This year, I have the honor of presenting our Journey Partner Awards. This award is presented to our partners who have diligently created programs that have changed the lives for those we serve. Our first award is being presented to Friday Seth. He is a tech enthusiast and a senior in high school. Friday has been very instrumental in creating a program for our IT Biz Academy, which is called the ICAP class. What this means and stands for is the Introduction to Cybersecurity and Programming. He has worked diligently to facilitate this course alongside numerous teaching assistants who are also volunteers, and they are employed at different tech companies throughout the Bay Area. He wanted to create a program that would allow him to introduce computer coding using Python. Thank you, Friday, for partnering with Love Never Fails.
It is an honor to accept the Love Never Fails Journey to Freedom Award on behalf of everyone who's worked tirelessly to make the ICAP workshop a reality, including Love Never Fails staff like Vanessa, Letitia, and Rosalina, who've worked to secure funding, recruit students, and work out the logistics of the class. Whether it's our teachers' assistants, like Shruti, who've helped our students when they get stuck, and give students the motivation to persevere when times get hard while coding. And most of all, our students themselves, who despite the adversity in their personal lives, trudge onwards, looking to STEM and coding as a path to a better life. We will continue working on what we've already done through ICAP to educate hundreds more. Once again, thank you.
Thank you, Friday. Our next award will be presented to Jessica Lee. She is an art curator and a junior in high school. Her artwork was featured at the FBI's 2020 Virtual Art Gallery, and the 2020 Love Never Fails Gala. She is also the recipient of the Girl Scout Gold Award. Jessica has been very instrumental in single-handedly presenting to our survivors artwork projects. And through these projects, one of our survivors' children was able to showcase her work at the San Francisco Coalition Against Human Trafficking's 2020 Teen Summit. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Hello, my name is Jessica Lee, and I am so grateful to have been awarded the Journey Partner of the Year from Love Never Fails. I've been working with Vanessa and the rest of the Love Never Fails team for almost 4 years now, and it's been such an amazing learning experience. I learned just how fortunate all of us are to be working and just being here in this amazing evening to celebrate Love Never Fails and all of the work they've done against human trafficking. So I thank you once again, Vanessa, and everyone else at the Love Never Fails team.
Thank you, Jessica. Now we will all listen in as two of our former IT Biz graduates share their success stories.
Good evening. My name is Figile, but Figgy for short. I'm so happy and grateful to be here. I would like to say first and foremost, huge thank you to everyone for celebrating a new chapter in all of our lives. Whether you know it or not, IT Biz has strengthened my confidence and knowledge. Privacy has been one of the things that have been taken away from me in life. Going through Google IT has taught me about VPN. Most of you know what I'm talking about. And if you don't, you weren't paying attention in class. But now I feel secure. I'm looking forward to using my skills to better my community and anyone I come across that have felt discouraged in life like me. With the knowledge of soft skills, resumes, interviewing, and techniques, with this certification, I want to pursue an entry levels of technical support engineer, technical support specialist, and web developer. I look forward to what the future holds. Thank you, IT Biz, for giving me an opportunity to have a career and be successful in life. Thank you.
My name is Julia Watson, and today I'm proud to say that I'm graduating IT Biz. Miss Vanessa, if it were not for you, none of this would even exist. Making the choice to create a place to bring the tech world to those of us who, like myself, would probably never get that opportunity, I say thank you. At the beginning of this program, I had little to no experience in cybersecurity or any information technology for that matter. When I first started the program, I was unsure, but instantly I knew that this was information that I needed to help me, not just in my future career path, but also in my daily life. Over the course of the last year, I have gained the knowledge and the confidence to carry it out. I am more internet savvy and I know how to protect myself against hackers and spyware while also getting introduced to new technology and to coding, which I ended up loving and having a lot of fun with. While enrolled into IT Biz, I was also involved with workforce development, learning the soft skills such as resume building, public speaking, and all the knowledge to have a successful job interview. I am proud to say that I am graduating IT Biz, and I look forward to putting this knowledge and hard work into action. Thank you.
Well, I'm so delighted to be back. I'm sitting here in San Francisco, and I'm literally feeling the blessings rain down. I know you all are as well. I'm watching the chat. We're moved, whether it's Jessica, Frede, and of course, Figgy and Julia. This is amazing. The work of Love Never Fails just amplifies itself from each person, particularly the youth. It's especially moving. So right now, we're going to pivot a little, and it's now time for our amazing live auction. Our friends at Love Never Fails, your friends at Love Never Fails, have put together an amazing array of items for you to bid on right here in this space. So just, again, I told you I'd come back to make sure you understood how to make your way through. As we move through each of the auction items, you'll see two buttons on your screen. There's a green button that shows the amount of the next bid level for that item. So as each person bids, that amount will change and will go up. When you're ready to bid, simply click on the green button that has the amount. You'll see your name. And if you want to bid a higher amount over and above the increments already built in, you can click on the black Bid More button and manually enter your amount. So without further ado, let's get started with our live auction. Our first item, and I love this. This is Alvin. You heard about Alvin earlier, the vice president of the board. He makes amazing cheesecake. In fact, award-winning cheesecake here in the Bay Area. And if you know anything about a good cheesecake, you know that making a truly delicious one is not easy. So you definitely don't want to pass this up. Now, Alvin wants to make sure that he has everyone's palate. Everyone has their favorite flavor. So he is willing to make a variety of choices. You can choose between Dutch apple cheesecake, white chocolate amaretto, chocolate chip, which won first place in Alameda County, my personal favorite, the Girl Scout Samoa cheesecake, and bourbon pumpkin cheesecake. Now, each cheesecake can serve up to 12 people, or if you're feeling in a mood, it can serve one person. You know who you are. So we are going to start the bidding out there. Our opening bid is at $100. So we invite you all, if you want to pop in, you can just click that you want to bid and the bid will go up. I already see we've got people joining in. And if you see people bidding and you know them or you want to cheer them on, call it out in the chat. We've already got Lori is in there. We're at a couple $100 there. So I'm just going to encourage people. I know the timing is a little bit off between my voice and what you see on the screen. So we're going to count on what you see on the screen. So we already have an incredibly hard fought. So it's going up. We're already at $300 for that. Now, mind you, as you can see that cheesecake, that is not the kind you just sort of get in the grocery store. When I looked at that picture, I was like, oh my gosh, that is huge. That is a thick, delicious cheesecake. So this may not be when you're trying to count those calories, but when you want to splurge or have a family celebration, you will be the envy of all your people there. We're moving up. We're at $350. And I see some calling people out. America, I see some cheering on in the, Lori is going in strong. She likes that cheesecake, but we're going to say there's still plenty of cheesecake around. We are going to start, and Nicholas, I think you're hoping that you can slip in, but we're already at $500. So we are at $500. There are more than 100 of us in there. There are some cheesecake lovers among you. We are going to start the countdown on this, but we still have a hard fought. We're at 500. We'd love to get that up a little bit higher. Some of you are thinking it's just cheesecake. This is not any just cheesecake. This is Alvin's cheesecake, award winning. So we are at $500 is our high bid. So I'm going to start my own countdown. We're going to see if anyone wants to swoop in and snatch that away from our high bidder. But we're at $500 as our high bid. And yes, Sabrina, I'm all for the Girl Scout cookie cheesecake as well. Who doesn't like the good Samoa? I mean, come on, peanut butter, hello. So here's what we're going to do, folks. I feel that we had a good, I'll call it a two-horse race. We had two people who were delighted about this. And what I would love to do, you may not know this and you cannot see it, but I actually have two cheesecakes in my back pocket. So what I would love to do, we have two high bidders who are going back and forth, Nicholas and Lori, but someone else might sneak in. What I would love to do is see if we could get both of you. I'm going to split the difference with our two high bidders who've been going back and forth at $450. So I'm going to ask our wonderful technical team, we're going to put $450 up, and we have two cheesecakes. So if our two high bidders, Nicholas, you were already there, but someone might sneak in, and Lori, you were already there, but someone might sneak in, you know, technology, we're going to put $450 up, and if you both want to claim that, we will be able to make twice as much money than we thought we would. And this is already amazing. And again, it's all for Love Never Fails. So we have our two cheesecakes available. We will put $450 up at the price. And if you all want to go ahead and claim those, that would be amazing. So do we have that up there? So one of them has been claimed. Thank you so much. Sold. And I think I'm gonna encourage Lori, you were right there. We're at $450. If you could do that, that would be awesome. I think there should be another link for there. And this is for Lori, or someone else might sneak in and take that. And thank you so much. We have sold both of those cheesecakes. Thank you so much for your amazing support of Love Never Fails. Onward we go, folks. We are moving on to our next item. So this one I love. We've all been talking about how do we get away? We've been sheltering in place. This is perfect. This is a 2-night Napa Valley getaway. It's at the beautiful Napa River Inn. So this is awesome that it's just a drive. You don't have to worry about getting on a plane. It's just you and your loved one going up there. It's a 2-night stay in a beautiful room at the Napa River Inn. And what I love is if there are wine tasters among you, we have secured a private, customized wine tasting tour for 4 in your own chauffeured, beautiful Lincoln Navigator or a comparable vehicle. So if you want to go and do some wine tasting, you don't have to worry about, I don't want to drive, I don't want to drink and drive, I want to be safe. We've got you covered. So you've got the 2-night stay in the Napa Valley River Inn. You've got the private customized wine tasting tour for 4, pardon me. And this is good for an entire year. So you can plan this all the way through April of next year. Now, we aren't available August through October, but that gives you plenty of other time to book this. So I'm going to go back, and we are already at $800. So is there another bid? Our next level would be at the $1,000 level. Again, this is a 2-night stay in a beautiful room. This could be 2 friends. It could be a girls' getaway. It could be a couple. It could be a mother and daughter. It could be anything you want. It's a perfect room for 2 people to enjoy themselves, a celebration, just to give yourself a lift. What I love about this, Napa is close enough. It's just far enough that you feel like you're getting away, but close enough that it's a pretty easy drive for you to get there. So we're already at $800. Our next level up on that would be $1,000. But I'm excited where we are, and we have the $1,000 bid. I love that. So think that 4-hour customized tour. You don't have to worry. You plan it out. You'll work with the driver and say, here are the places I want to go. I mean, in 4 hours, you can cover a lot of places. I mean, even if you spend an hour at each place, you're going to at least 4 wineries, and you can probably do even more. And then when you're done, just go back and flop your head back in the beautiful Napa River Inn. But we are at $1,000. I'm going to do a countdown, so I know we have so much other wonderful programming to get to. So I'm going to say $1,000 going once. I'm going to say $1,000 going twice. And I'm not seeing anyone sneak in. I'm going to declare a winner, and we're going to call this item sold. And here's what I love. This is the beauty of technology and auctions. Sabrina Schaefer snuck in at the $1,200 level, and she took it away from Ed. So Ed, there's plenty of other items, but thank you and congratulations to Sabrina for the 2-night stay at the beautiful Napa River Inn. Thank you, folks. Item number 3, I love this. I love this item. This is our friends at Craig Shelley of Beverly Hills have put together this beautiful El Capitan blue gold handcrafted timepiece. Now, Craig Shelley Beverly Hills are such good friends of Love Never Fails. We are so thrilled to be with them. You heard earlier that they are going to have a commemorative watch that'll be a part of the trivia quiz giveaway that Vanessa will do at the end of the evening. But this particular piece, it has no peer. It's gorgeous, crafted with leadership and poise in mind. It speaks to executives or someone who just wants to make a statement. So if you're looking for a unique piece and a watch with a bold design, this is the one for you. So this is an absolutely stunning watch, and we are going to start the bidding off on this. It is at $2,000. So I know we're now getting, that's a little bit higher, but it's an absolutely stunning watch, and we already have our initial bidder in there for the stunning El Capitan blue gold handcrafted timepiece. So you can see it on the screen. It's stunning. So this is when you're like, I'm going to take my Apple Watch off today because I'm a baller. I want to show off a little and have something that's a little special. So if you're in a position to stretch a bit and want to have that beautiful watch, this one is absolutely there and available to you. But we are at $2,000 right now, and our next level would be $2,500. We're at $2,000, and I might have a little surprise about that if we get a handful of bidders. But right now, we have our one bidder who I'm thrilled with, and I thank you so much for jumping right on. And I love this in the chat. People are already still talking about Sonoma. Carla and Sabrina are planning their getaway, and we've moved on to the watch. But keep on talking. I love that, ladies. That's great to start making those plans. So we're at 2,000 for the beautiful El Capitan Blue Gold handcrafted watch. I'm going to start a countdown. I'm going to say 2,000 on that going once, 2,000 for the El Capitan watch going twice, and I'm going to declare a winner for the watch. So we are going to close that out. And I thank you. Thank you so much for those of you who even thought about it. I know that might be a stretch, and we appreciate you even considering that. It's an absolutely stunning watch, and we thank you for your participation. Item number 4, and this one's really special. This is an autographed Hank Aaron commemorative framed photo. Now, just to let you know, as we all know, and if you don't, I'm letting you know now, Hank Aaron just passed away in January. Huge loss, not just to the world of sports, but to the world of social justice, to the world of people trying to make a difference in their own quiet and sometimes loud ways. He was an amazing gentleman who certainly showed off on the baseball diamond, but stood up for many of the same issues and matters that we know that Love Never Fails cares about. So this is an amazing piece. It is a picture of the exact moment where, as we call him, Hammerin' Hank, recorded his record-breaking 715th home run to surpass Babe Ruth as the all-time leader in home runs. Now, he was on the Atlanta Braves at the time, and he was playing against the LA Dodgers. And it was a different time. Actually, in his hometown, there were many people who didn't want an African-American man breaking Babe Ruth's record. More people were with him, but there were quite a few who weren't. So it's interesting that was 1974, how the world hasn't really changed as much as we would like. But that notwithstanding, I'm not going to get into my pulpit. We've got a lot to get into tonight, but this is an amazing autographed Hank Aaron commemorative framed photo. This Hall of Famer, this is authenticated by our wonderful friends at Steiner Sports, and it is a piece that you would want to have. So we're going to start the bidding off in this at $500 for the Hank Aaron autograph photo, beautifully framed, and as they say, ready for hanging or ready for showing off in your office, your home office, to share with your friends. Do we have a bid on the Hank Aaron commemorative framed photo? Good old Hammerin' Hank, Henry Louis Aaron. What an amazing gentleman, a sportsman, a person who really cared about the world and stood up for that throughout his entire life, who we will miss dearly. Is there anyone at the $500 level who would like to bid on that? So folks, I know there's some secret baseball fans. There are some sports memorabilia fans among you. Maybe not all of you, but I know someone out there is thinking, ooh, if no one bids, I might be able to get this at $500. And you know, secret, I have a vision that one of you who gets this, you will end up being one of those people on Antiques Roadshow. I watch it, I'm going to admit, who goes there thinking, well, I paid this much in an auction, and they surprise you with an amount. I can't guarantee that, but I'm just imagining that experience. Thank you. We have a wonderful bid. I see that. A gentleman of the cloth, I believe. And yes, Tara, everyone who doesn't love Antiques Roadshow. So thank you to Keith. I'm going to call your name out. You're our sole bidder at this point. You may be the lucky one. I'll be looking for you on Antiques Roadshow, but we're going to do a countdown because we have one final amazing item. So we're going to say we're at $500 going once for the Hank Aaron commemorative framed photo. We're going to say $500 going twice. And I'm going to declare a winner, but I know how sneaky people are, so it may not be where we were. So we're going to declare a winner, and it was. We thank you and congratulations to the Reverend Keith Archuleta. I know you have been chatting in chat, and people are like blowing up and excited for you. So thank you for your generosity on that item. So last but absolutely not least, and we all need this coming out of COVID. We're in the thick of it, but we have turned the corner, and God has been good. We are getting through this together. So I'm going to say, can I get an amen up in here? Because I know I'm amongst like-minded people. So here we have a private gourmet wine-paired dinner for 8, prepared by the wonderful executive chef, Carlos Porras. So he will create a beautiful dinner for you and 7 guests with the cuisine of your choice. He will consult with you, Chef Carlos, on the menu and create an amazing 3-course meal and dessert bites in your home or in another agreed upon venue. So as I said, each course has a wine pairing. So the package includes the dinner for 8, 3 courses, wine, all the ingredients, linens, place settings, beverage glasses. All you need to do is show up if it's at another venue, or just make sure your house is prepared and ready and you sit back and enjoy this meal. Now, you're wondering, who is Chef Carlos? I can't cook. Chef Carlos is so far beyond me. I see a question, Carla Rivera. I do believe this is in Northern California. So if you happen to be, I know we probably have people watching, certainly from coast to coast, maybe even outside of the US. Unfortunately, I don't think Chef Carlos could come to, if you're in Dallas or if you're in Chicago, this is a Bay Area based item. So maybe it's a reason for you to come visit the Bay Area and throw a party, dinner for 8. Chef Carlos was trained with Michael Minna, who's big here in the Bay Area, at his Aqua restaurant and has over 20 years as a San Francisco chef at restaurants such as Sessions in the Presidio, amazing, Epic, and Rose's Cafe. More importantly, in these times, he's a food COVID certified chef, which means proper PPE is worn at all times by him, his staff, and they're taking extra care in sanitizing and maintaining proper distancing throughout the entire evening. So we're starting the bidding off at $1,000. We already have a bid on that. Again, this is dinner for 8, folks. This is appetizers, main, dessert, all the little wonderful niceties that you're going to enjoy at an amazing, MENA-trained, amazing chef here in the Bay Area, plus the wine pairings. So we're starting off at $1,000. I know we can nudge that a little bit higher. I see Lisa Genovese wants to bid $1,100. We see that. We're going to note that, Lisa. So I guess I'm kind of talking to Alan because I see you have bid. Lisa in chat wants to bid $1,100, but has gotten herself logged out. And Lisa, you've already been outbid. But I love you, and I hope you get back in because I want you to be able to keep bidding. Or you can bid in chat, and we're going to navigate that because that's how we roll, folks. We are at $1,200. And in this case, I do not have more than one of these. So I think we're just going to have to go with it. So here's the thing. We're already at $1,500. It's getting contested. I'm sorry, Lisa. I love being able to see you in chat. I can't see you. I love watching you bidding in chat. I am supporting you. I'm holding you in my hand as your proxy, but we're at $1,500. We need to keep our program moving forward, but I don't want to leave any money on the table because this is about Love Never Fails. And you heard Vanessa go on about the work. Oh, Lisa, you're getting queued at 1501. I love you, but I'm not gonna quite honor that. But I will give you a hug, and I'm gonna give you that when I see you. But we're at Nicholas is at $1,500 is our high bid. Our next bid would be at $1,700. So that's just letting you know, Lisa, since you can't see, we need you at $1,700. But we're at $1,500. We're gonna say $1,500 going once, but I'm watching my chat in case Lisa wants to slip in. $1,500 going twice. I'm watching. I'm going to give it one more moment. And I'm going to say, we have a winner. We are closing this one out, and we are declaring a winner. And our winner at $1,500. Thank you so much. There was just, oh, Lisa, you snuck in at $1,700. I'm crushed. I was watching. We're going to figure this out. And, Lisa, I can make no promises, but I know you wanted to participate, and I know Nicholas was incredibly generous. So my friends at Love Never Fails who are watching this, note Lisa Genovese, maybe there's some way we could get a second. No promises, but we love you and thank you for your participation. So I want to congratulate all of our winners. Thank you for indulging me. You all are amazing. Now, please join me in welcoming former Love Never Fails client and friend, Julia, who will share a bit of her story and introduce our keynote speaker.
Hello, my name is Julia, and I am both a survivor and a graduate of Love Never Fails. I am so honored to be sharing a little of my testimony and sharing a little of where I am now after graduating from the program. My life started out as a typical average young girl's life. I had a wonderful childhood. I had 2 loving, hardworking parents who made sure that both my sister and I were always taken care of. I was a student that worked hard, and I never got into any trouble. I was a good and respectful kid. When I turned 18 years old, I joined the United States Army, and while serving in the Army, I had met my ex-husband and we had our first daughter. After successfully serving my time in the Army, I began to experience symptoms, which at the time I did not realize was PTSD. Because I had not identified this or knew how to handle it, I turned to drugs. And from here, it went all downhill. I soon after lost everything, including the custody of my daughter. I was turned out onto the streets and became homeless. And there was no room for anything in my life but drugs. Shortly after, I met a man who offered me shelter and drugs in exchange for sex. I was manipulated into thinking we were in love. This went on for 3 years, and during this time, I was abused, badly beaten to the point of almost death. And unfortunately, because of my dependency on drugs, when he would go to jail, I would connect to other people that would actually sell me. The people within the group would look at me like I was a product. One memory that stands out is when I was sleeping one night. I looked at this guy's phone and he was texting another guy, letting him know that he had a present for him with a picture of me attached. I was only property to these men. I was just a present ready to be passed around with plans to move me even out of the country at one point. Around this time, though, I became pregnant with my son. Something had to give and I was tired. Until this day, I do not know what the shift was that caused me to go to rehab, but I do believe that it could be because of the internal motherly instinct that we all have inside of us and from the grace of God. And even after a harder battle of escaping from my exploiter, I finally made it to LNF. I flew almost 2,000 miles to get here to Love Never Fails. Through the LNF program, I have drawn myself closer to God. I've maintained my sobriety through AA. I engaged in intense life coaching with Solution Solutions and have graduated IT Biz with a cybersecurity certificate. If it were not for LNF, I cannot confidently say that I would not have gone back to my old life. This program has given me the confidence that I needed to heal from the many challenges that I have endured within my life and gave me a place that I know where when my son and I lay our heads down at night, we are safe. Now that I'm done with this program, I'm ready to move on with my life and start being a contributing member of society. I'm a full-time college student, getting ready to transfer to a dental hygiene program. I have saved enough while being in the program that I'm buying a car this month, and I have enough money to put down on a house. I stand before you today as a survivor and an example that this program changes lives. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart for your contributions to make this program work.
I picked up your shirts this morning. I don't know why, Mr. Reynolds had to say hello. I started to cry, Every place we've ever walked and everywhere we talked, I miss you. You never leave my mind. So much of you is left behind. Thinking that you'll be calling. Everyone says that it's all in my head, and I can't accept it yet. I'm not ready to just give in. I know that I can't live in this pain
Wow. Thank you so much, Bella, for that beautiful gift of song. And thank you, Centoya Brown Long, for opening up your heart, sharing your testimony and your journey. I know we are all feeling blessed and moved in the chat. I'm seeing the conversation. So thank you so much for opening up. We're heading into the back end of our evening, folks, and it's an opportunity for you to make a pledge. Many of you have already been giving, even when the event just started, but here's an opportunity to, again, if you're able to make a gift to Love Never Fails. Like so many nonprofits, and you heard Vanessa speak of this at the outset, Love Never Fails was deeply impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. However, after assessing the situation and pivoting, this agile organization not only survived rather, but they thrived. In March of 2020, just a year ago, Love Never Fails had 2 houses with the capacity to serve 17 women and children. And we all know that sheltering in place can be a challenge just with a single family of folks who know each other. Imagine 17 women and children, fearful, afraid, mixed in with other people with whom they didn't know. It was a challenge, but the entire staff and program came together to embrace it. And I'm so proud to say that we welcomed people, we brought them in, and they felt a sense of being home. As Vanessa shared earlier, with more people in need than ever, and nowhere to go during the pandemic, Love Never Fails opened more residential spaces, including the Youth Art House for girls ages 13 to 17 and a men's home for transitional age men and families that were our IT Academy students and homeless or trafficked. Today, Love Never Fails provides housing for 26 women, men, and children, and was recently approved to be a California jobs training provider, and is in the process of becoming a certified Department of Rehabilitation training provider. But you know what? That's just a snippet of the story. You've heard so much this evening. This award-winning group truly makes a difference, and I can tell you that every dollar raised this evening will help pave the way for generational freedom through housing, workforce development, and education. So as we move on, I just have to share with you briefly just a testimony. Listening to Centoya, a song came to mind. I'm sure many of you are familiar with it. It's Deliver Me. This is My Exodus by Donald Lawrence and the Tri-City Singers featuring Leandria Johnson. I think one line really sticks out to me when I think about Centoya's journey, and I think of the journey of so many folks who find their way to Love Never Fails. There's a line that says, "So I'm speaking for all of you listening. Starting here, starting now, the things that hurt you in the past won't control your future. Starting now, this is a new day. This is your exodus, and you are officially released." So that is what this evening is about. That is what the 10 years of work that Love Never Fails has been about, your exodus. Leaving your past behind you, acknowledging it, but moving it through truly through the glory of God. So my friends, it feels odd to start talking about buttons on your screen, but I'm going to let you know if you want to make a gift, click on the green button. When you want to make a pledge at the level I'm talking about, if you want to make a pledge that's higher or a different amount, you can use the black button and you can bid that way. So I'm going to start off audacious. Maybe everyone can't help at this level, but we're starting off at the $10,000 level. And I'm just going to share what $10,000 can do. That's something that you might even consider, or just for you to know, because you don't know what your situation might find yourself later. $10,000 can provide 6 months of housing. 6 months of housing for people to be able to help out. So just keep that in mind. We know how expensive it is here in the Bay Area, and we know that actually is not that much for 6 months of housing, and we're talking about housing for multiple people. So I just want to share that. Again, not everyone may be able to give at that level, but I just want to let you know that that's available. I'm going to keep moving. I want us to move through. It's been a wonderful evening. We've been together, we've shared, we've heard testimony. I feel like we've had fellowship, even virtual, and that we're all in this together. Let's move on to our next level. And again, if at any point you want to bid a separate amount, you can always use the black button. $5,000. The $5,000 level can provide weekly counseling for the youth and the young women and men who are part of the Love Never Fails program. So this is really, I mean, and you heard Centoya talk about the value of having these conversations, having someone who either experienced it or who is trained and who has that empathy, who has that spiritually centered focus. So just keep that in mind. Again, that may be an amount that not everyone can do, but we just want to let you know the impact of a $5,000 gift is truly can go many, many. It's like the ripple we talk about, tossing the pebble in the water. So I'm just going to keep going on. But again, $10,000, 6 months of housing, if that's something you can help out with. $5,000 can provide weekly counseling for our residents. Our next level is $2,500, and that can provide human trafficking prevention education. And that's incredibly important. Making people aware that this is real, this is not made up. And you heard Centoya's story, you heard Julia, just people who were ignored, misunderstood, slut shamed. I'm just going to be really direct. And I think it's important to call it out with what it is. And the work that Love Never Fails, being able to have this education and presenting it to people is incredibly important. So that is at the $2,500 level. That prevention education goes a long way to hopefully having us not have people find themselves in this place, or if they do, to be aware of what's going on and to be able to reach out and take advantage of the resources. So again, I thank you. I thank you for being here and for participating. Next level, and I'm hoping this is at a level where folks, we're all looking at our dollars now, where if you're able to stretch, that would be fantastic. And it's so important, the $1,000 level. This picks up right where the prevention education leaves off. It can provide search and rescue support. And that is amazing. The work that Love Never Fails does in pulling people across the spectrum of law enforcement and volunteers. So this is pulling people together who taking time out of their regular job to come together to help with this search and rescue. We know how important that is. To know that it's not just the police and the formal system, but a strong informal system of people who are looking and searching and trying to bolster that effort. It makes a huge difference at the $1,000 level. And I'd imagine if you need to do this in 2 tranches, Love Never Fails is happy to work with you. If you can't do it all at once, but you want to be able to help out. So if that's something you can do, please consider that. We have an audacious goal, and I see us moving towards it. We'd love to get up to our $50,000 amount, but we know there are so many people calling upon you, but you know how important this work is. Next level, and you heard about it throughout this evening, about the IT program. $500 can provide much needed tech internships. And that goes a long way. A lot of times internships might be unpaid, and some of the young people actually do need some funding to help out. But in those instances where the internship isn't paid, having those funds from Love Never Fails to fill that space is incredibly important. That's at the $500 level. But again, if you want to do a different amount, I invite you. I see folks are already making gifts, and I thank you. I'm just going to acknowledge, I see Lynette, I see Julia, thank you, Benita and Alan, Monica and Mick. Thank you. So many people who are in the room and are coming up, showing out for Love Never Fails. Our next levels is $250. $250. Let Love Never Fails take that, and they will be able to do amazing things. So we're now getting to the amounts where we're talking about spreading awareness, bolstering some of the programs. That $250, sometimes you may feel like, well, that's not much. Will it make a difference? Absolutely. The $250 can take a program that could have been great and make it amazing. So never think that that amount of money is not going to make a difference. It will absolutely make a difference. So if that's what you're able to give, please, we invite you to go ahead and give that. And friends, our last stop, and again, these are just the things that you can choose to do. You can always do the black button and give an amount that works for you. It can be more than I've mentioned. It can be an in-between amount. It can be less. You do what you're able to do and know that every dollar helps. $100, our final level, official level, can support spreading our Love Never Fails awareness. And that's incredibly important. Just spreading this message, making sure people know, not only here in the Bay Area, but Love Never Fails is starting to think about how can we expand, how can we take this model, this message, and spread that even outside of the state of California and here in the Bay Area. So that $100, again, it's that pebble. It's the pebble in the pond where you see those ripples. Again, never sell yourself short. If that's what you're able to give, we thank you. My friends, if you want to do that, that's awesome. But right now, we're going to wind down on the live auction. We are going to thank you for your generosity. And more importantly, I want to thank you on behalf of the hundreds of beneficiaries of Love Never Fails. Now, I see there's conversation in the chat about the silent auction. I know someone has just put a link up in. The silent auction is going to remain open through Tuesday evening. That's this Tuesday evening. And the link to the auction, it's both in the chat and it's also in the RSVP email that you received when you signed up. So again, you can see it in the chat. It's a little long I can try and read it out loud, but hopefully you'll be able to click it. But it's https://paybee, paybe.io/the @LNF4. So it's a little slightly complicated, but hopefully you see it in chat, and the link is also in your RSVP email. Now, it is my great pleasure and honor to turn the mic back over to the amazing, spiritually centered powerhouse, the Executive Director of Love Never Fails, Vanessa Russell. Vanessa?
Thank you so much, Michael. Oh my goodness. You have been just such a joy to work with, Michael. We so appreciate you. And I just want to say I am amazed at the testimony that we heard from Julia, and just I could barely keep myself together hearing Centoya's words and her strength and witnessing the breakthrough that you have experienced. You are a true inspiration. I love what you said about the resilience of a survivor, and we often say that the survivors that we serve and the students that we serve are not only resilient but brilliant. And so I thank each of you for pouring into the people that I am so humbled to be here with you tonight, and to know that you and we are family, and we are connected in such a deep way as we go and bring more and more and more in to help them to know that they are loved, and they are protected, and they are supported by all of us. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge our sponsors today. Our platinum sponsor, Petna, thank you so much. Our gold sponsor, Scale. Our silver sponsors, Cisco and Synac and Team Carrasco, 2 Records, Jack and Hillary Vonage, Emerald HPC, and Republic Services. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your kind support. You have come alongside us in a way that just helps us to know that we are not out here alone. We are part of a community of corporations, of individuals that truly, truly care. And so now the final moment that you have been waiting for, and that is the trivia question for our lovely 10-year commemorative watch, compliments of Craig Shelley of Beverly Hills. This Swiss watch comes in classic gold, rose, or silver, and has an LNF logo embossed on the clasp. For both men and women, there are options for men and women valued at $495, and it's actually going to come with cufflinks, Craig Shelley cufflinks, and a wallet, and a wine decanter. He even threw in a wine decanter. So beautiful gift, and we are going to give that to the first person who can place in the chat the answer to this question. And that question is, what was the name of the program the Journey Partner of the Year recipient, Rio de Janeiro, created to teach students about Python? So I'll wait for Tara to text me with the winner. She's looking at the chat to see who responded first. The first, all right, Stephanie Cohen. Stephanie, congratulations. We are so excited to send this off to you. So we'll coordinate with you to find out whether you want the gold, the rose, or the silver. I wanted to mention to you that this commemorative watch and other beautiful jewelry pieces will continue to be available after the gala. And you can purchase them by going to craigshelley.com / either 10-year-anniversary or craigshelley.com/love-never-fails. So all of the jewelry options are available there and will be made available to you throughout the year. This is part of our 10-year celebration, and many thanks to Craig Shelley of Beverly Hills for your support. All right, well, thanks again to all of you for being here. Please join us for an after party with music and discussion by grabbing the Zoom link that is being placed in the chat window now. Please join us, and we will kind of move out of this window and into the next one. If you want to come in there, we're going to have some music and some discussion. It'll be fun. And with that, I will hand you back to our outro video. You're in for a treat.
Well, we hope that you've enjoyed yourself. It has been a beautiful night. We just couldn't be more proud of everyone that has just worked tirelessly to make this a special time of freedom, a celebration of freedom for all of us. I'm here with my honey, Tim, and we're ready for the after party. How about you? We hope that you won't go too far. We've got a DJ and we've got some fun things planned for you, some networking. So join one of the breakout rooms. Join us. Enjoy yourself.